Well, welcome to a special episode to celebrate with our American friends, American Thanksgiving. Well, actually, the whole week of Thanksgiving. You know, as a Canadian, I actually have fond memories of American Thanksgiving. You say, well, why is that? Well, growing up, I actually celebrated Thanksgiving twice. First of all, we had Canadian Thanksgiving, which was usually in October sometimes. And then I always seemed to get sick on American Thanksgiving. Why do you say? Because I would stay home to watch my favorite team on Turkey Day. And, turducken, John Madden, what could be better, right? So today, I want to celebrate the week of American Thanksgiving, but I want to talk about why the practice of thankfulness and gratitude is absolutely central if we are going to get very far down the road to recovery. Welcome aboard.
Guys ready?
When it comes to porn, are you stuck, spinning out, or slipping backwards in your life? If so, then welcome to the Finding Traction podcast, a show dedicated to those who are looking to gain recovery momentum away from porn and toward the life and relationships they have always hoped for. Now, here's your host, Vern Tomke.
Well, let me just say that I do love to work with guys using the Finding Traction course that I've written. That's a 52-week video lesson. And based on that, I coach guys individually, and I also coach guys in groups. I actually run two types of groups. One of my group is just a regular group for all guys, people from all different faith backgrounds, just have a common desire to walk free from porn. I also run a bit of a unique group for those in ministry, pastors, different people in professional ministry. And I'm looking for 2 or 3 guys. I've actually got kind of on both of those types of groups, I've got half of them ready to go. So I'm looking for 2 or 3 guys to round out those groups so we can get started to create a couple new groups. So if you're interested with either one of those groups, please send me an email. My email is bandofbrothers.care@gmail.com. So let's return to this central idea of why gratitude and thankfulness is so crucial if we are going to continue in the process of our recovery. And let me just say, gratitude is a pretty broad thing. And it really is this idea of having a conscious awareness of the good things in our lives, the blessings we have, many and varied things that we might have just taken for granted. And I guess you could say when we're living with a sense of gratitude, our phraseology changes from the type of statements that would go, well, wouldn't it be great if, and we change our statements to, isn't it great that? There's a subtle shift there, but really our focus changes. And I want to just talk about why gratitude is so important. Here's the first one, and it's a huge reason. Gratitude is like an antidote, or it pushes back on the creep of discontentment in our lives. Porn is all about discontentment. It's all about bringing discontentment into our lives. And, one of the phrases that's used sometimes in spiritual circles, or you hear this phrase, for example, if you're a part of SA, you'll hear the word lust. And if there was one word which I would say lust could be replaced by, it's simply this one word, more. I want, I need, I desire more. I don't have enough. I need more. I heard this great quote around, internet porn or pornography, and it was this phrase: one look is too many, but 1,000 is not enough. It's this whole idea of more, this whole idea of discontentment. And there have actually been studies to go regular porn users. They talk about a much higher level of discontentment in their relationships, in their marriages. So gratitude really pushes back against what I call the slow creep of discontentment. The other thing it does, and this is partly related to that, gratitude helps us focus on our own life, our own situation, without comparing ourselves to others and their situations. When we start comparing ourselves, it leads to envy. It leads to discontentment. It leads to bitterness. Well, why do I have to have these situations? Why are other people in a better situation? And of course, most of us who have any track record in porn, we would know that porn is all around inviting comparison. Inviting comparison with how we look, how our partners look. All of those things, comparison, are killers for happiness. If we live in comparison, we never are settled in our lives. And if we begin to practice gratitude, it leads to a third benefit, which is this whole idea of increasing our sense of presence to our lives. Or, there's a phrase, mindfulness, that people often use. And what it's saying is being here and now, as opposed to looking for escape thoughts or escape behaviors. And as we grow in our sense of presence to what we're experiencing right now, we're not looking back with regret. We're not looking forward with longing. We're experiencing what we have right now in our present. And I would say as we learn to grow in that, then we can see the good things in our lives. I would call them the grace moments that often can slip by without us even noticing. The beginning of that song by Ben Rector, he talks about the deepest blue in his daughter's eyes, as an example of just noticing those little gracelets that happen in our day. Again, this would be more of a spiritual thing, but I would say gratitude increases our awareness of where God is showing up in our lives. God is showing up in our day. The little things where we may not realize that we're living in a spiritual moment. Gratitude has a way of opening our eyes to that sense of presence as well. I think another one that gratitude is so necessary to do is it helps us reframe what we have been through. Even the difficult things, and I'm not saying that truly there's things that suck in our lives. I work with a number of guys that are going through a divorce right now. And, they never intended to end up here. They never realized that their porn behaviors would end in the breakup of their marriage and their relationships. And they're just reeling right now. And my heart goes out to you right now as you move into this season, Thanksgiving week, Thanksgiving Day. In one sense, it's going to be a hard day because you're aware of the things that you don't have. But at the same time, over time, as we practice, even in those difficult moments, the question is there any areas of our lives where even those tough things are providing hidden opportunities? They're causing us to change and grow as people, becoming more compassionate to people around us because of what we've been through. I've talked to people who said, even my addiction and what I went through, looking back, and sure, it takes a while, but I was able to eventually reframe those things in my life. I would say it has the ability to do that. I'm not saying that we should not be conscious and honest with the difficult things we're going through. But even in those places, in the rain, we're saying, are there still rainbows that are happening in places? So It's interesting. Another one, people have talked, and there's been studies that gratitude has physiological benefits from releasing positive chemicals in our brain, reducing stress, increasing the quality of our sleep. And, ideally, if we, let's say, apply that for those of you in a relationship, you apply gratitude in your marriage, it has the power to transform your interactions with your partner. It has the power, gratitude has the power to transform your sense of satisfaction with your partner. When I used to teach this John Gottman marriage course with my wife, we would describe, people who are really maritally smart, they treat every day as Thanksgiving Day. Every day, it's not just this week, not just this Thursday. Every day is Thanksgiving Day. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means that every day I want to acknowledge and appreciate good things with my partner. I would acknowledge the blessings that they bring into my life. And as I do that, sure, there's things that are annoying, right? Sure, there are things that, are challenges in every relationship. But as we focus on the benefits, the blessings that our wife, for example, brings to us, it has the ability to transform those interactions in our life. If I was going to summarize all of this bit of apologetic, in one sense, for thankfulness and gratefulness, let me just summarize it with maybe the final reason is gratitude helps us remember, right? Gratitude. I think many times, I look at where my recovery starts feeling rocky or tenuous. It's because I failed to remember. It could be, and this is a part of remembering, it could be failing to remember the pain and hardship that my problematic porn behaviors brought into my life. I was listening to a podcast this morning, and it was the speaker was talking about a gal she knew that had come out of an alcoholic background. And the challenge was, the further you get away from maybe your most problematic or regular acting out behaviors, and you were not, they may not be in your face right now. Now, some of you, they're right in your face and you're in the middle of that. But as if you go down further the road of recovery, some of those more painful experiences begin to recede into the past. And this gal, she had struggled with that because the further she got away from her drinking, she stopped remembering some of the pain it brought in her life. And so she had taken a little 3x5 index card and put it on her mirror. And all it said was, it really was that bad. And whenever she would get up in the morning, look in that mirror and see that little index card, she would remember it really was that bad. And in comparison, she would experience all, where she was at in her life, the hard-fought recovery she had experienced. She was recalling that to mind. And I think that is absolutely crucial, that idea of remembering. But it's remembering this whole idea of remembering all of the good things that our recovery has brought into our lives. We have to literally call that into mind. I shared this before, but I'll share it again because it's that important. This gratitude, recovery gratitude, is that important. Every day when I go out for a walk, I go through this gratitude exercise and I go, you know what, I'm so thankful. what my recovery has brought and bought me, that I have freedom now instead of a feeling of being in chains and in bondage, right? I go through this. I am so grateful for my recovery, what it has bought and brought me, that I have peace instead of turmoil, and I go through this. I am so grateful for what my recovery has bought and brought me, that I have joy instead of despair. and I go on, and I am so grateful what my recovery has bought and brought me, that I am experiencing clarity as opposed to confusion and brain fog, right? And I go on, and I am so grateful that my recovery has bought and brought me. It has brought me confidence instead of this feeling of timidity and insecurity. And you do that on a daily basis, and you are recalling, bringing to mind, you are remembering, right? You are remembering. That's why I love that phrase in that opening song where Ben Rector is singing with this crowd. He says, so we can remember. So we can remember. And then he personalizes it and says, so I can remember. Right? So I can remember. It is absolutely crucial that I remember. I bring to mind all of these things. That's why I'm saying that gratitude is absolutely crucial if we are going to maintain this journey of recovery for any period of time. So let me just give you a couple more ideas. Maybe you want to try that idea that I do every day. You just simply, verbally and in your mind and out for your walk every day. You practice maybe that morning sort of mantra. That the idea where you remind yourself, or maybe you do it at night. Other ones that people have found helpful is some people create a gratitude journal. Or even writing down one or two things every day. Some people have this on an app where every day you write down something you are grateful for. Some people have set timers. So a couple times in the day, a timer goes off, on your Fitbit or on your phone. And it's just an opportunity for you to stop and practice gratefulness. For example, every time supper, me and my wife have this exercise. Before we have supper, we practice what are 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for. And because we always have supper together, we've paired it with that. So every time we have supper, it's like a cue. Okay, what are two or three things? During COVID, my son lived with us, and he got this down. And a couple times it was so cool because we would forget, and he would remind us, hey, what are you thankful for today? As part of that. Another idea that people have done is to write a thank you letter to someone who's played a positive role in your life, or just sending a quick email or a text message to say, you know what, you've really brought some good things into my life. I just want to thank you. And that is really personalizing it and can be a powerful exercise. I love listening to music. I love listening to great music that fosters gratefulness. There's a Dave Barnes song called Good. That's another one of these thankful songs. Country music in general. I'm not a huge country music fan, but I've noticed, there's 2 types of country music. There's those songs that are, my tire's falling off my car, my wife's left me, my dog's, got, worms, and I got to put it down. There's those kind of country songs. But then there's a lot of songs that actually really do foster gratefulness. So anyways, I want to say this Thanksgiving, I really hope that you're able to see past your unmet needs. I hope you're able to see past the gaps in your life or the things that you're saying, well, wouldn't it be nice if, and you're able in one way to make the transitions where you go, I am so grateful that I am so thankful for that in my life. So to all of my American friends, happy Thanksgiving.